The Glaive Prime. Oh, my sweet precious angel baby weapon. Since episode 20, it has carried our account. That was until one day, where its glavey brother, the Xoris, decided it was gonna be cool and get a riven that was really good. Then, I found myself only using the glaive when there was armored targets, but it was still really effective. Probably was the second best item on our account. That was until we reached the Zeramin in episode 69. With access to Incarnans, our glaives meant nothing. The Incarnan guns took away the glaive's mobbing prowess, and the Incarnan melees made sure that we would never run the glaive again for fear of missing out on some sweet parkour velocity. And so, the weapon that carried us for so long finally was put to rest. But the world works in mysterious ways, because as I was mourning the loss of my favorite weapon, Lady Luck smiled upon me. And thanks to a boon you will see shortly, we're back to pushing an agenda, baby! The Glaive Prime. It is not just a weapon. It's not just a super weapon. It is the weapon of a goat! Hello, gamers! Welcome back to the Warframe Iron Man. Last time, we went ahead and finished up all we needed to do in the Zeramin. We still have some stuff to grind up there, but that's no biggie. We'll go ahead and do it in the background. Get the arcanes and just collect stuff. But this week, gamers, we have something that's been accessible to us for quite some time that we just haven't touched. And that is going to be completing Steel Path. I know! We have... Alright, never mind that there's a lich on Earth. I accidentally got one because, I'll just come in here. They have the Sobek, and I didn't want to skip it and then have to roll it 60,000 times. They also have the Impact Ephemera, because I was playing Wukong, which sucks, but at the same time, that's gas, because that's an Ephemera down. We're not... Don't worry about that. It's not important. What is important, though, is that we have all of these planets and the Zeramin now that we have to complete on Steel Path and get the mastery for it. Not only do I want to do this because it's just a checklist item and it gives mastery, but it allows us to have access to all of the farms that we need. If we need to farm resources or items, whatever. It's just good to have every node unlocked. So that's what we're going to do in this week's episode. But I must be honest, this hinged entirely on something big that happened Monday night. And, gamers, you gotta see this. Oh, alright, I gotta calm down a little bit. You know, I was just doing these for shits and giggles to pass the time, but motherfucker, this might be the most exciting thing ever. I don't like the Riven system, but I do love pushing my agendas, and holy shit, this is huge. The Glaive Prime Riven. The Glaive has a Riven disposition of 2. It's quite low, but we can juice it a little bit. I just want to show this for comparison's sake. This is our Xoris Riven. It's quite busted, minus the status duration. That really does hurt it. I mean, look at the numbers. 150 crit chance that's doubled for heavy attacks, which we're always doing with the Glaive. Well, the Xoris in this example. And then crit damage. Just a solid Riven. We can get better on our Glaive Prime. You know what? I think I want to. I think I want to. Come on, baby. That's... Okay. In a vacuum, that could be pretty good, but I'm not gonna try to cope influence on the Glaive, bro. I want my crit damage, crit chance. Anyway, I'll be back when I spend all my Kuba. Oh, this looked so cool until it wasn't, because that's crit chance for sliding. Oh, well. That's... Take that bottom part off, and then add a negative modifier. That's what we are looking for. Alright, I got a crit chance one, so we can see how it'll be. 150 crit chance, doubled for heavies. Unfortunately, this is, backwards. I don't give a shit about slide attacks, but I would like that crit damage there. We could get this, but swap these two around. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to it. Alright, I'm running out of Kuva, but this is looking pretty good. Crit chance, crit damage. Unfortunately, you turn that damage to infested to a negative, this would be the god roll of all god rolls. But I think going forward, this is probably what we're gonna keep. I might roll this weekly. I don't know. There's nothing better than pushing the agenda. But for now, this is gonna be our ribbon. I'll do a couple more if I don't get a better one. Oh well. All right. Unfortunately, this ended up being the best we could do. But who knows, man? I might just roll this occasionally just for shits and giggles. Because, you know, we gotta maintain the agenda, bro. Glaive's on top. I'm actually just so happy. This looks a lot better than it actually is. Glaive Prime stats are way reduced, but I might just have to do my next Hema grind with this. Thank you, Glaive. I'll remember you as long as you live. Yes, that's right. For 2 episodes, I said that the Glaive Prime was retired. I fucking lied. Okay, but like, really? I didn't know that I was going to get a Glaive ribbon. Yeah, we're going to push the agenda today. I am a Glaive enjoyer, and there's no way to enjoy Glaive more than having a ribbon and having it be compatible with your Xoris that also has a ribbon. So that is what we're gonna do. More specifically, I must admit, we're going ballistic with this agenda pushing. We're not going to be spinning the wheel this week. I know. Calm down. It's the best part of the Warframe Iron Man, but we are going to be taking out a new character, but it is a very tactical decision on my part. We're taking out Kullervo. Why are we taking out Kullervo? If we're going to juice the shit out of a melee weapon, nobody can do it better. Oh yeah. Gamers, I'm going to go level him up. Let's take out the Rauda as well. I'm not gonna level that thing up, probably. I am so far behind on their signature weapons, dude. But it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and level Kullervo, and we're gonna talk about him right now, because he is a good character. Alrighty, gamers! We are here in the Simulacrum. Let us show off Kullervo, shall we? Before we get into it, here is the showcase build. We are, of course, on Rolling Guard, Flow, and Energize. Although we probably won't need Rolling Guard, which... we'll get there. We are also on the Rauda, which, let's just go over the weapon first, shall we? This is Kullervo's unique shotgun, and what it does is that every pellet that hits increases the wielder's melee combo count. Melee combo count duration is increased by 7 seconds when wielded by Kullervo. So you could actually shoot enemies with this thing and get combo that way. Pretty unique tool. We could actually get value out of this week, but I'm gonna not. And then we're using the Glaive. Kullervo is a melee character. Everything in his kit benefits melee. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's first go over his passive. Kullervo boasts 75% heavy attack efficiency and 100% heavy attack windup speed on all melee weapons. Heavy attack efficiency is if you build up some combo. We'll do it by getting kills. Alright, now that we have galvanized reflex built up, you can see we're sitting at a 5 times combo. And what heavy attack efficiency does is if we cast this out and detonate it, heavy attack, it would only consume 75% of our combo. Very helpful. And the heavy attack windup speed means when we charge our throw, it goes out faster. Very nice, especially for a Glaive enjoyer. Oh boy, let's get into the real meat and potatoes though. So let's throw the Glaive when we don't have any stacks actually. Let's go ahead and clear these. Okay, so we're at a 1 times combo, and you know, the Glaive doesn't really be critting unless we get our initial combo up. Well, I mean, I guess it will now with the Glaive, right? Let's just throw this in heavy attack detonate. You can see some nice yellow crits, some orange crits too. Keep that in mind. Wrathful Advance. This is a teleport. If we were to teleport to an enemy, we'll do a finisher right away. But you can see we were red critting. What is that about? Well, Wrathful Advance, once you teleport, is going to give you 200% crit chance off the rip. And this isn't like additive crit chance. No, this is just a flat buff. It's kind of nuts. We don't have to teleport to an enemy and do a finisher. We can hold the button and we get this little reticle. We can teleport wherever we want. And as long as we have Wrathful Advance up, that buff, oh yeah, we're red critting, baby. Up next, we have Recompense. And you might notice that Kullervo is a no shields gamer. So what do we do to survive on him? Because health tanking is quite scary when you don't have, you know, Gloom and Persistence. Well, Recompense is going to save the day. We activate it. It's going to put a bunch of knives around us. And when those knives hit enemies, it's going to give us Overguard. Yes, we can Overguard gate with Kullervo. And that's going to be our means to survival. We can tap that. It's going to instantly go out. There is an augment for it, which makes it even better, but we'll go over that when we get to the actual build. Up next, we have Collective Curse. What this is going to do is it's going to shoot out a little web of chains in front of us, and it's going to chain all the enemies together. What this does is it makes them link all of the damage amongst themselves. It's pretty good. And then Kullervo's final ability is going to be Wrath of Ukko. Ukko, I don't know how to pronounce it. Put this down, just going to be AoE of Raining Daggers. We're going to helmet over this, but it's okay. I forgot to do it, so whoops, that's fine. But Kullervo, what he wants to do is he wants to juice the shit out of your melee weapon, and he wants to go berserk. You pop that Wrathful Advance, you just start getting overguard, and you just start balling. Without even getting any kills, our Glaive Prime is now a Destroyer of Worlds, but it was going to be anyway, because we got a Riven for it now. Also, just to show off the Rauta, let's shoot this enemy. It's quite slow without a fire rate. But you can see down there at the bottom, we are building combo. Kullervo just, I guess, shows off the combo count at all times, because it is tied to his passive. But we're at 12 times now. We can swap to our Glaive. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty sick. Let's show off the build. And I just want to let you know, we're pushing an agenda this week, right? But here's my Kullervo build. Let me know what you guys think. Gas or ungas? What are we thinking? Deadass, we're running this. I am no coward. We are going to be running this in Steel Path, and we're going to kick its teeth in. Trust. There is one thing of note that I will explain on this build, and that is Volatile Recompense. This changes your 2 to be a ring of daggers around you that slashes nearby foes, dealing blast damage and status before returning to the ring. This just makes it to where it's always active. Let's go ahead and simulate some more enemies. And if we pop our 2, it's now just going to hover around us for 24 seconds and constantly shoot out daggers. And this augment is absolutely ridiculous. Let's try to burn our Overguard as best we can, shall we? Alright, it's going pretty fast. Now we Overguard gate. Yeah, do you like this? I'm pretty scared, dude. Oh, shit. I hope they don't kill me. We're going to have a lot of fun. Anyway, this build is stupid and dumb. We're doing it just because I can. He's that overpowered and ridiculous. I surely don't need to explain it, but I'm going to. Prime Sure-Footed is knockdown resistance, but this is absolutely useless considering we're always generating Overguard and thus are knockdown resistant anyway. Brief Respite, we're getting energy converted to shields. We don't have shields. Aegis, we don't have shields. And Molten Efficiency, we can get some duration. If we had shields, we don't have shields. So, yeah, I wanted to be a little spicy. I was always going to run Kullervo with just Volatile Recompense, but, we do what we do around here, and we do it well. Once we complete a planet, I'll actually play him for realios. In fact, I just wanted to come in here. Agenda man, he's getting a reactor. But enough stalling. The Glaive Prime will consume more people. Actually, you know what? That's a good thing that I didn't pull that up. Here is our build for the Glaive Prime. I've upgraded Primed Pressure Point. It's not fully maxed because I'm a broke bitch, but, one day it will be. And then we have our Glaive Riven, which is critical chance and crit damage. Infested Bane, too. Ooh! Who cares? What we dropped in this build is going to be Blood Rush. We used to have it for extra crit chance because I really do like Galvanized Steel, but Galvanized Steel isn't enough to make us crit all the time. Gladiator Might is going to give us crit damage, but it's also going to give us a light version of Blood Rush. So we're going to get a little bit of extra crit chance. In an ideal world, I'd have a Riven like my Xoris, where it's crit chance and crit damage with a negative modifier. And this would probably be closer to 320% on a heavy attack, but it is not an ideal world. We actually got kind of hoed with that positive down there. Whatever, dude. But, gamers, I gotta go ball out. Alright, gamers, we are here. Let's see how good Kullervo is gonna be. We're just gonna be glaive spamming. Yeah, no, this is, textbook, easy peasy. We're gonna have no problems. Despite not having a lot of stats from anything because we are forgoing the ability to have a good functioning build, doesn't matter. If we just occasionally tap our 1, even the most tanky things are going to crumble at the weight of our exclamation point red click. Exclamation point red crits. I had a really hard time saying that. Now, I do think that that's not Kullervo's like best ability. I think genuinely, his 2 with volatile recompense or whatever it's called is just so ridiculously busted. We're just constantly gaining overguard, and if we're constantly gaining overguard, that means we have overguard gating. But it's just doing it on its own. We don't have to really worry about it or anything. It's quite nice. And also, you probably saw there, we took a little bit of health damage, and our 2 just heals it back up. This character is something else. I haven't used his 3 too much. That's another busted ability. I think more so if we were like not throwing an AoE projectile. um, it might look a bit better, but it can be very good. Especially if you have like a really hard-hitting singular target weapon. It's gonna chain all of that damage to all of the enemies in front of it, and even though they're taking a reduced amount, the redirected damage, 50% of 100 million is still 50 million. So, and then I think the 4, like it used to be better. And the reason for that is because Slash just used to be better. These days, this thing it's all right. Like, maybe you can build some ability strength, precision intensify, get that going. I just think it's why do that when you could just make this character an absolutely even more busted melee glazer. If you put on like roar or something, maybe we do that later. Maybe we actually we do that instead of just running this the entirety of Steel Path. Sorry, I won't spoil it now. Anyway, we're on a Mott. This is one of the last nodes we need for the Void, in order to get our Steel Path completion bonus. And once we do that, we're done with the Void. This is gonna be nice to have. Pretty decent testing ground, just to see how good your builds are going. Cool little unlock here, but I think y'all can see that the Glaive agenda works great. We've got our Riven, it's buffing it up. Oh. Alright. Never mind that. That's just because I was mouth breathing. We've got our Glaive Riven. It's juicing the shit out of it because it's got extra crit chance, crit damage. And crit damage is really helping us here. We've got our Kullervo to absolutely trounce whatever we need to. And you know what? I think this is a good enough showing. I think it's time, gamers. Let's get out of here. Let's get our Void completion. And see you in a bit. Alright, the Void has been mastered. It's kind of a weird spot to start this whole thing off, but we just had access to all these nodes. So, yeah, it worked out. Anyway, though, let's swap to a better Kullervo build, yeah? I was just trying to push the little agenda that he's good. This is what we're running for realsies this time. It's about what you'd expect from a health tank. But, we've got our Roar to make our Glaive slash procs do even better. More stats. Oh yeah, we're cooking. Anyway, guys, let us clear the entirety of Steel Path. Well, well, well. Now we have a good-looking star chart here. Quickly, just to go through, we did all the planets. That's not a problem. With the exception of Deimos. Deimos, actually, we couldn't complete. We can come here, and you can see that we have all the nodes done, but because of the Sanctum Anomatica that's right here, we can't actually get the completion for it, so Deimos is still waiting. Another thing we didn't do is we didn't confront any of the specters. I'll just leave that for another time. It'll be a nice little funny thing. I had all of the planets unlocked normally, so I didn't have to do that through our Steel Path incursions. So we never had to fight a single Spectre, which I think is just quite funny and a statement to how I operate around here. Anyway, that was that. We can come to our inbox, and yeah, he's hit us up quite a few times. We've gotten our awesome Steel Path, and what it is, like a Noggle. We got an emote and some Steel Essence for each planet we completed. So luckily, we don't have to worry about Steel Essence for a while, but I organized them all into a nice little display going in order of planet progression. Of course, Deimos isn't here, but again, technically it's last, so that's all good. I'm thinking it'll go right here. There's two other ones that we don't have, which are Hovania, which we don't have access to, and then the Deviri Steel Path one, which I just am not bothered to do right now. But this is what our star chart is looking like, and it's all done. That being said, gamers, I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this one, leave a like. If you disliked it, you can do that too. I uploaded the Warframe Iron Man every Tuesday at 1 p.m. PST, so look forward to the next one. If you found this video and aren't caught up in the series, I have an entire playlist linked in the description for you. And otherwise, gamers, thank you all so much for watching again. See you in the next one.